But to say that 30,000 people were slaughtered during those like short weeks is ridiculous to me. Iran has put out specific names of individuals who have been killed, and it's around 3,000. But you really think 30,000 people were killed?
Well, I'm curious, if you don't think it's 30,000, how many do you think it was?
I don't know the exact number. No one knows the exact number.
But you know... But if you don't know the number, how do you know? Well, hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I've said multiple times. You don't have to hang on for a second. I've said multiple times. I don't agree or like the regime in Iran. That doesn't mean that it's untrue that they never capitulated to what Israel demanded of them. Whereas here in the United States, we literally spill blood and use our treasure on behalf of Israel. That's the point that Cenk was trying to make. And I think it's a pretty accurate point.
I'm questioning the use of the word courageous about a ruthless, despotic monster.
When I talk about woke white women being one of the biggest threats to America, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I will give Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks a little bit of credit. Unlike most in the media, Anna Kasparian, I believe, is authentic. She actually believes what she says. Her hatred for Israel, her hatred for Archman Bad, her hatred for anything associated with or related to Israel, that hatred she has is very real. But this is exactly what I am talking about. This is exactly why I say that woke white women are dangerous. Every time I see Anna Kasparian, she is angry. She's either having an emotional meltdown or she's filled with uncontrollable bitterness and rage. The vast majority of woke white women, they are the exact same way. I challenge you to find a woke white woman who is actually happy. They are living in misery because they're full of hatred. Hatred for Israel, hatred for America. And when you're constantly bitter, you are constantly miserable. I have been watching the Young Turks on and off for years now. I have never seen Anna Kasparian smile. I have never seen her in a good mood. And it's the same for her doofus boss, who is a Muslim who disguises himself as an atheist. They are automatically against the dismantling of the Iranian regime because of who is responsible for dismantling it. Doofus Democrats, they're not upset because the regime has been demolished. They're upset because of who demolished their object of worship. Your loyalty to your country, it's kind of similar to the loyalty that you have in a marriage. If you have a healthy marriage, if you have a healthy relationship with your spouse, you are on their side no matter what. Even when she is wrong, I'm not going to tell my wife she's wrong in front of you. I might tell her that when we are alone, but I'm not going to do it publicly. If we have a disagreement, I don't run and tell my parents about it. I don't tell my friends. If we have an argument, the argument stays in-house. Now, small disagreements, minor arguments, you might vent with your friends about it and talk about those, but major arguments, major conflicts, things that actually matter, you and your wife will always show a united front. Even if you're fighting, when you're in front of your family or your friends, you are united. And it should be the same way with America. Here at home, we can fight with each other internally. We can argue over politics. We can make fun of doofus Democrats for being confused about their gender or what bathing suit to pick out. We can argue about abortion or immigration. But when it comes to things that really matter, like war, whether you agree or disagree with what's happening in Iran, we should all be united behind our military. We don't need people like Megyn Kelly claiming our troops are dying for Israel, not America. Last I checked, the flag on their uniform was the American flag. Look, I like Megyn Kelly. I don't always agree with her, but I don't have to always agree with someone to like them or to watch their show. I rarely agree with the Young Turks, but like I said, watch them on and off because I need another point of view. But what Megyn Kelly said yesterday about our fallen troops, our fallen heroes, what Megyn Kelly said was absolutely disgusting. We should all be united behind our military and our president. If Barack Obama did the same thing to Iran, I think most normal people would support him, at least in the beginning. We might not agree with it, but we would support it. Well, Uncle Casey, what about John Biden? What if he bombed Iran? That would be terrifying. But all kidding aside, with something as serious as war, and I'm talking about the beginning stages, if we're still having this war 4 years from now, that's a completely different story. But in the beginning, before the military is even given a chance to succeed, we should give them the benefit of the doubt and be a united front in front of the world. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So going into the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Fluffer Noggin. I'm not a big snacker. I don't eat a lot of junk food, but there are times during the week when I'm just too busy to stop and grab lunch. I need something quick and easy, but also filling enough to get me to dinner. One thing I've noticed that fills me up: beef jerky. Problem is, a lot of beef jerky tastes like you're biting into a flat tire. Good news is, I no longer have that problem because I started buying gourmet beef jerky from Fluffer Noggin. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is a Fluffer Noggin? Fluffer Noggin is gourmet beef jerky that is 100% made right here in America. You don't have to worry about consuming foreign cows because all these cows are homegrown. Each recipe from Fluffer Noggin is handcrafted with the perfect amount of seasoning. First beef jerky I have ever tasted that literally melts in your mouth. Fluffer Noggin comes in a variety of flavors ranging from mango habanero, Korean barbecue. They even have a flavoring of craft beer. Or if you're like me, you'll go with the original style flavoring. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL30, BTL30. Receive 30% off your first purchase with Fluffer Noggin. Once again, the dump known as New York City is showcasing the absolute worst of America. To my knowledge, and I could be wrong about this, but to my knowledge, there haven't been protests of the dismantling of the Iranian regime in any other city besides New York City. Hell, in most major cities, there are celebrations instead of protests. People are celebrating the fall of the most evil regime in the world. People from Iran who immigrated to America and actually assimilated instead of, bringing their Islamic culture over here and demanding that we wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and sit on the carpet for mandatory prayer. Iranian Americans are celebrating the demise of this tyrannical regime. But woke white women? Doofus Democrats? People who are still walking around with COVID mask, people who complain about mythical oppression here in America, when the reality is they have absolutely no idea what real oppression is. Instead of celebrating Iran's demise, they are wasting their time filling the streets of New York City with another useless protest. Watch it for yourself.
Fight for jobs and education.
Fight for the number one terrorist. U.S. imperialist.
The war.
Feed our people, not a war.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down.
paying attention to the beginning of the clip, there was a woke white woman holding a sign that said, "Globalize the Intifada." I'm guessing this woke princess has absolutely no idea what that means. Technically, globalizing the Intifada is showing support for a gigantic pile of rubble, or as they used to call it, Palestine. The insinuation behind globalizing the Intifada is globalizing Islam, globalizing Sharia law. If woke white women were living under Sharia law, you wouldn't have to worry about them protesting. You wouldn't have to worry about them complaining about toxic masculinity. Hell, you wouldn't have to worry about listening to them complain, period. Their voices would be muffled by the required burqa on their face. But Uncle KC, maybe they're just protesting the war. Maybe they're upset about the loss of innocent life and the children. Oh, the children! It's all about the children! Maybe you're right. Maybe doofus Democrats and woke white women are defending the Iranian people. Maybe they are actually concerned about their safety. Maybe they are worried about their well-being. But if that is the case, how do you explain this? This video was filmed at a pro-Iranian protest in New York City. Now keep in mind, these people are supposedly protesting in support of the Iranian people. But for some reason, they refuse to allow a Middle Eastern man who could potentially be Iranian, they refuse to allow him to walk down the sidewalk. Matter of fact, they decide to lock arms, which is normally a clear indicator that they're about to start singing the woke classics. I hate Donald Trump. But instead of the woke choir singing the classics, they were holding hands to block this Middle Eastern man from walking down the damn street. Watch it for yourself.
You're all preventing me from moving where I want to go, and I'm going to go. Why don't you leave America? Why don't you leave? You hate this imperialist country. Why don't you leave? You're fake activists. Why don't you speak about the 50,000 Iranians who were killed? And I want to call out the fact that you pretend, oh, don't touch me. Meanwhile, you're all preventing me from moving where I want to go, and I'm going to go. You are spoiled Americans on the side of a terrorist regime because you're afraid and hateful of a country that's the size of New Jersey. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you cosplaying white people.
First of all, credit to that dude for standing up to these dorks. I mean, this is potentially very dangerous. There is no telling how long it's been since they have taken a bath. If they brush their teeth, and that's probably a big if, my inside sources tell me they use a community toothbrush. The potent stench of toxic ass gas, that is usually enough to keep most normal people away. But this dude, he fought through the stench without a mask to point out the fact that these people are indeed maniacs. Look, there is real resistance to this conflict throughout the country. Not everyone agrees with it, which is fine. That's fine. But it seems like the only protest, it seems like the only displays of division are happening in New York City. Even the People's Republic of California was celebrating the fall of the Iranian regime. But in New York City, people are proudly protesting in support of radical Islam. I wonder why. I wonder if it has anything to do with Zohran Mamdani hinting that he supports the regime. I wonder if it's because radical Islamists are feeling very comfortable in the new and improved New York City. Either way, You don't have to agree with the war to support our troops. You don't have to agree with the war to support the president. Like I said, if we are still talking about this 2, 3, 4 years from now, that is a problem. But I think the Trumper has earned the privilege of being given the benefit of the doubt. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.